All right. How's it going, everyone? We're starting off quick. This is Chris. You're tuning in to figure out films for one of our live streams. Now, at any point, if I'm not sounding clear or if it sounds terrible, not the opinions I'm making or the comments I make, but if the audio itself, if I sound bummy, please just let me know in the comments. I promise I'll get to see all two of you that are in the comments today. We are going to go ahead and since it's not even a minute, we're going to go ahead and just wait a little bit till we get a few subscribers, I guess, on the live stream. Like I said on the title, we're going to talk about what I picked up in May. And I picked up a decent amount of things, and they range anything from DVD, VHS, Blu-ray, and 4K. So we'll talk about all of those, as well as just talk about movies in general, just to hang out. Got some news for the channel as well. So like I said, we'll go ahead and wait maybe a little bit before we even get started. And if you are tuned into the live, just go ahead and drop in on the comment section. Let me know that you're here before I just start yapping the whole time. Let's see. It might just be too late for everyone to just come on tonight. To be fair, this is probably the earliest I've ever started a live stream. Usually I'm a couple minutes late. And we have quite the stack of things to talk about tonight. Give it another minute, and then I think I'm just going to go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and go in. So today we are talking about everything I picked up in May of this month. Did pick up quite a few things that I didn't get to show off on the channel. If you like to see me do more monthly hauls, let me know in the comments and the videos. Go ahead and doing that. As you know, we're finishing up the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise reviews and rating, which is coming up. And actually, for a live exclusive, I'm finishing up for the Dream Warriors, and after that, I'm going to go ahead and start the ranking. I think I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth on the other sequels in the ranking, if that makes sense. So I will go ahead and obviously put them from my least favorite to my favorite. But I will talk more in depth from 4 to the remake as I'm doing that ranking. I think that'll be more fun. I think it'll tune people into watching that video. So we'll finish that up. Obviously, we did the Godzilla X Kong 4K hunt. That obviously did not work. Was not able to get that. And then from there on, actually, I'm going to be gone for a little bit. Hold on. Dang, texting during a live. But I'll be gone. But there should be a couple of videos that'll be up, and so things might look different. I might look a little bit more tan, and I will look more married as well when I come back. So some things are going to be happening on the channel. I'm really excited. I do like the engagement we're getting. It seems like people are enjoying the content. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and talk about the things that I got during the sale. And at any point, if there are questions in the comments, I will go ahead and read a few of them from time to time. So stay patient with that. So to go ahead and get started, I'm going to talk about movies from, whoops. There we go. Don't know what happened there. But to get started, I'm going to talk about movies from the least great quality, so the worst quality of movies I have from the format, and then I'm going to move on to the best quality that I have in my format. So to go ahead and get started, we're going to go with the DVDs, because DVDs to me are the worst format to have. Let's see. Give me just one moment. Got some people saying some things about the live. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about on DVD are, I did pick this up at one of my local record stores. They have just a bunch of old DVDs, sometimes Blu-rays and 4Ks. I posted on Instagram that I got a couple of these already. So I didn't want to just throw all of them on there, especially since they already got an Instagram share. But anyway, so the first DVD I got was Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2 on DVD. If you have not seen this movie, it is insane. I think you can watch it on Peacock. So this is the sequel to the original Prom Night 2. It it's pretty interesting. I actually talked about this on my podcast Inside the Sequel. Feels like a million years ago, but I think it was a couple years honestly ago. And I only got it for $1. And this movie I think had a Blu-ray at one point. I'm not sure, but I think it's out of print to hell, and the DVD was $1. So I figured why not, and then it saves me having to saves me this trouble of having to go on Peacock to stream it. I can just have it here on DVD. So that was nice. I'm excited to have that. And then out of print to hell, I have the 28 Days Later DVD, which is right here. I got this is the most expensive DVD I think I've ever owned. It was like $5. I got this at half-ass priced or half-ass or half-price books. I can't even say it right anymore. I got this at half-price books for about $5. It's out of print to hell. I didn't know that. So, I can't find the Blu-ray anywhere, and I never actually owned 28 Days or its really great sequel, 28 Weeks Later. So I figured this was the next big thing, and it's also not streaming. So I really want to watch this again. I want to put it on, and I'm curious to see how it's going to look on a widescreen special edition DVD. I'm kind of afraid, I'm not going to lie, to see if that shows up or not. All right. And then next, what I have next is I'm going to go ahead and go over one of my favorite formats, and I'd love to do a video on this. I don't know when, because it's constantly growing and some changes are coming up when I'll do this video, but I really want to talk about my VHS collection. I love VHSs. I think it's really cool of a format. I love seeing that it's coming back as well. I actually do watch VHS often enough. I have a VHS player. I have a tube TV with my retro gaming setup over here. So that's great to have. But I also love just watching movies. I love the push and play style of it, not having to navigate a menu screen or scene selections or anything like that. So I've been really enjoying getting VHS, especially for like easy to watch movies that I love, movies that are iconic as well. Had to fix the chair. But yeah, I mean, I think my most rewatched is Terminator. I just watch that pretty often. Obviously, I have all the Star Wars movies on VHS from the original trilogy up to Attack of the Clones. So that's, something proud to own. But I want to get more. Obviously, I have some horror movies, anime as well. A lot of movies that I had when I was younger that I love, and then also just like easy to watch movies, man. Like movies I know I'll probably rewatch. Let's see. I'll put this in the comments. Okay. Just putting that in the chat. If there's any issues, like if you can't see me or if I'm frozen or if the audio's garbage, please just let me know in the comments as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about VHS. But I'd love to do a video of like my entire VHS collection because it's pretty expansive. It's not the craziest. It's not the craziest. It's not the biggest. Much like me. But it still does the job, like I know what I'm doing with those VHSs, let's just put it that way. And then let's just go ahead and go and talk about the VHSs. So on VHS to start, I got this at a flea market or an antique mall in Missouri. And that is Godzilla 1985, also known as The Return of Godzilla from 1984. I believe that's because this is the American version of Return of Godzilla, which is just called Godzilla 85. It has Raymond Burr from the original, which is not Godzilla Gojira 54, the great classic, but Godzilla King of the Monsters, the American remake. And honestly, they're about the same, except for the extra scenes with Raymond Burr, because America thought that Godzilla would not be successful in the States unless it had an American actor in it. So the scenes feel out of place in that movie, and I honestly don't care for it at all. It's pretty garbage. But obviously with this, they had to include the Raymond Burr stuff. But the reason I really wanted it is not only because Return of Godzilla is a great movie, but because they did Return of the Godzilla and then they did this with Raymond Burr, the ending to this movie is a lot better than the original Return of Godzilla 84. 85, I think, has a better ending because of the whole Raymond Burr thing. I love his monologue at the end. It's the extra added music at the end of the movie. I'm going to spoil this movie for you. Godzilla dies. This is a direct sequel at the time for 54 Godzilla, because 54 to 84, 30 years later, obviously a sequel for this. So it's kind of like a full circle moment with Raymond Burr and his monologue with Godzilla in this movie. Godzilla dies. It's a really sad ending. I hate seeing Godzilla die in movies. I'm a big Godzilla fan, obviously. And I don't like seeing the big G die. Just not my thing. I like to see him just walk into the ocean and sink and go back to Monster Island. You know, that's my thing. All right. And the next VHS we're going to talk about, this was my most recent acquisition. So this was the last one of the, this isn't the last thing. This was the most recent from this format that I picked up, which was honestly only like a week ago, I think, not even. Very excited to have this VHS. Love this thing. And that is Ray Milland in The Big Clock. So if you're not familiar with this movie, it isn't black and white. It's from 1948. Yeah, 1948. Excuse me. Directed by the great John Farrow. John Farrow also did Easy Living with Ray Milland as well. I believe he did another work. But I really like The Big Clock. I love Ray Milland. He's like my favorite actor of all time. And I have this movie on Arrow back when they did have Arrow Academy. They stopped doing Arrow Academy through Arrow Video. But this is from Arrow Academy on Blu-ray, which was a 2K or 4K scan of the original negative. It's a good looking Blu-ray. It's a fairly under the radar movie as well, underappreciated from a noir standpoint too. But I had to get this on VHS, not only because it was in pristine condition. I got this at the Goodwill, and I played it. It works. And it's a great noir. It's a great Ray Milland performance too. I just know I'm going to tune in often. Let me put it this way: when I first watched this movie, I wanted to watch it again. Like right after it ended, I wanted to go back and play it again. All right. Sorry, some technical difficulties on this end. But yeah, I mean, this movie's great. It has Charles Lawton, who ended up directing the movie. I'm gonna get slammed for this. Why am I forgetting? Night of the Hunter, excuse me. 1954, 55's Night of the Hunter with Robert Meacham, which is a great performance. A terrifying movie. One of the greats. His only directorial film as well. but he stars in this movie. And if you haven't seen Charles Law in other movies, I mean, Witness for the Prosecution, he's terrific, and I highly recommend. He's in a lot of movies from the 40s. He's just an iconic actor. Definitely check him out and check out The Big Clock. I love this movie a lot. I'm curious to see how it looks on VHS. I played just a little bit to see if it actually works, but I'm curious like how it'll play for me on a VHS tape, on a tube TV, and not a 4K TV like I watched the Blu-ray. So I ended up picking up The Big Clock that way. Like I said, if you're in the chat, go ahead and drop any questions you may have at any point, please. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not used to using StreamYard. Let's see. Oh, let's see. We got our first question from Charlotte Blair. Why you like watching VHS? It's nostalgic. That's why. It's easy. It's I just put the movie in on the tape, press play, and there it goes. And it's, if it's movies I love, I don't have to actually look at movies to watch movies. I can listen to a movie and visualize and appreciate the audio aspects of it. And just hearing the actors talk to each other, the action going on, because I've seen a lot of movies more than one time, and I'm able to memorize a lot of them pretty quickly. So it's kind of fun to reminisce and go through that experience again. And VHS is just a quicker format. Also, I just love how they look aesthetically. They look cooler than any disc, any DVD case. Like, they're big and they're chunky. They have a cool little, 16:9 aspect ratio. They're just really nice to have. They're cool looking. I honestly think they do hold up and look good too on if you have the right TV, like traditional CRT TV. It looks good still. It holds up. And the only thing is the audio quality. I would say that's the one thing that kind of hurts, and audio is big for me. So if you play it loud enough, you can kind of ignore it, like the static noise. Good question. All right. Then that's all I actually have for VHSs. I didn't end up having anything else from that format. So on next, we're going to go on to Blu-ray. Another question from Charlotte Blair. What movie would you buy right now if you could? Well, you would know more than anyone if it's in the cart right now on Amazon. But no, that probably wouldn't be it. What I'd want to buy right now. Shoot. It'd probably be a pre-order, and I'm kind of asking for permission right now. I'd probably ask if I could pre-order the Robert Rodriguez Arrow video box set of his Once Upon a Time in Mexico trilogy. I don't own them all. It's all three together in a cool box set, which kind of disappoints me a little bit because it's through Arrow Video and they're amazing. They're my favorite label. And this is an amazing trilogy of movies. And they already have a trilogy Blu-ray set, a cheap Blu-ray set with all three now. They used to have only the first two, and you have to buy Once Upon a Time in Mexico by itself. But now but then they put out a reissue that has all three movies. And I don't know if they have their separate disc or it's all on one disc. So the transfer quality is probably not there. But they have this trilogy box set now from Arrow, and it's a 4K. You have a Blu-ray box set and you have 4K box set. Obviously, I want the 4K box set. And the problem is, the only 4K movie that you're getting in that set is Desperado, which is the sequel to the original El Mariachi. So El Mariachi and Once Upon a Time in Mexico are on Blu-ray, and I'm not sure if they got a new scan, a new 4K scan, or if it's just from that regular Blu-ray print. That's actually a good question. I have to double check that, but I did remember seeing that the only reason they specify it as a 4K is because Desperado, the second movie, debatably the best movie, is the only one that's getting a brand new 4K scan. And they're also putting out a standalone release of that movie as well. So I definitely want that, regardless of my gripes with it, because it's in a cool box set, and I love those movies. So I'd want to pre-order that. But if I could like buy a movie that's available right now, that's a little different. It would probably... probably House by the Cemetery or City of the Living Dead through also Arrow Video, their new 4K box sets they put out. Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead, House by the Cemetery on 4K, Arrow box sets. Both of those right now. I don't want those. I actually did buy one of them and it just never got delivered to me. USPS dropped the ball. They lost that package. I couldn't get a refund on that. So I've never owned House by the Cemetery. I love that movie with Bob, Lucio Fulci's 4K release of that. I know Blue Underground also has it, but it's a basic. I've never owned Blue Underground. And the funny thing is Arrow's using the same transfers as this Arrow release. So it really probably doesn't make a difference, but I just love Arrow more. I just think it looks cooler. You get a little bit more for your money because Blue Underground is pretty pricey. And I don't think you get all the bells and whistles. You just get the disc with some bonus features and a basic Blu-ray case, maybe a slipcover. And I don't own any Blue Underground. So probably House by the Cemetery and City of the Living Dead on 4K. Because I just sold my Blu-ray accidentally on my eBay shop. I don't even know if I can categorize that as a Blu-ray shop or a eBay shop, because I mean, I just sell some of my physical media on there and strangers buy it and I just put my YouTube channel on there. And they sometimes subscribe and it's always nice. I don't know. If you get a tax form for your eBay selling, do you have to make a LLC? Do you have an eBay shop then at that point? I don't know. This is the first time I'm publicly saying that I do have an eBay shop storefront. I don't want people to start accusing me of being like a scalper or anything like that. I feel like I'm on the lower end of my price bargaining, as I'll put it that way. I'm pretty cheap. I'll give you some of my movies for cheap. I'm nice that way. It's the Catholic guilt. So yeah. Really heavy loaded question there, Charlotte. All right, let's go ahead and go on to Blu-ray next. So we already talked about DVDs. We talked about VHS. Let's go on to the basic Blue Boys. And it doesn't get any more basic than this Blu-ray because it has a Blu-ray boutique label release. If you can consider Shout Select. That is California with a K. I'll be honest, I've never seen this movie, but the biggest reason I've wanted to see it for a long time is because it has David Duchovny from X-Files, Mulder. He's in this, and Brad Pitt with the worst facial hair I've ever seen. But it also has Juliette Lewis, who I actually had a crush on when I was a teenager. So she was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Natural Born Killers, and Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear remake with Robert De Niro, which was a very interesting portrayal from him. But I've always wanted to watch this movie. Could never find it streaming, and also I never wanted to spend the extra money on the Shout Select because I've heard this movie's not that great. So I found that when I went to get Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, I got this for like $4 maybe. It might have been cheaper than that. I don't really know what it's about, honestly, but just because it has a lot of actors that I love in it, I want to check it out. Let me see who else is in it. Michelle Forbes. I'm not familiar with who that is. 1992. This movie, yeah, 1992. So let's see what this movie's about. When urban intellectuals Brian, who's David Duchovny, and Forbes set out on a cross-country trip to search a book about serial killers, they share the ride with a couple they barely know, Brad Pitt and his girlfriend, Juliette Lewis. That's all I'm going to read about it. It sounds like it was the premise that David Gordon Green ripped off on his Halloween 2018 remake with those podcasters. I'm going to say that now. I'm not a fan of those Halloween movies. I own an amazing, cool 4K Steelbook collection bullshit set of those movies. Not crazy about them though. I don't know. And you know what? I just got more fuel to hate on David Gordon Green. Because he just stole the premise of the beginning of California. So whoever bought this movie bought it on eBay, not through my eBay shop. This was in the case. They paid $13.99 for it. Jesus Christ. Glad I didn't pay that much for this movie. Damn. All right. I got someone's personal information right here. All right. Throw that over there. So yeah, picked up California. Has everybody seen that movie? I definitely want to check it out. Let's see. Next I got, I'm gonna put them in like from least cool to coolest. I picked up Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine. I love this movie, and it's a pretty shitty case. It's, as you can see, it's dented in there. Holy shit, dude. Look at that disc cover. You can't tell me that's not cool. I love this movie. I watched the DVD of this movie to hell. Did I have a VHS of this too? I might have, because I watched this movie a lot. I think I had the DVD. I watched this movie so freaking much when I was younger. I think it was just super cool. It flew by for 109 minutes. Not bad. The first time you get a female Terminator in this movie, and she's like a mix of the Terminator in the second movie. And again, Schwarzenegger's in this. He's the good guy. Really cool, epic entrance. I really like the actor who portrays John Connor. Is that Nick Stahl? Probably. Claire Danes in this movie. She's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Terminator 3. I don't see a lot of love for this movie though. It's got the most basic Blu-ray as well. I wish what's his name? Ken at Mid-Level Media. He's really pushing for Cameron and Arrow Video to put out a 4K release of the original Terminator because it has a basic Blu-ray as well. The Blu-ray's fine, but it does need a great release because it's one of the all-time great movies. But Cameron and his 4K releases have caught in a lot of bad wind because of like use of AI and the transfers. And for, I'm always for a director going in and doing a director's cut or, overlooking the new restoration of a new release or new pressing. But it seems like people don't want James Cameron involved with any of his own movies anymore because of how bad his most recent releases are. I can't put any opinion to that because I don't own them. I don't think I need to own them. I kind of want Aliens on 4K because I have the original in 4K. But I just can't get it at a price I want. I can't spend $20 on Aliens on 4K. I don't know. Even though it's great, I can't do that. So, I'd love to see this though, but James Cameron didn't even put this movie out. So, with Aliens and then the, Terminator, I don't know. Terminator 3 directed by Jonathan Mustow. Not familiar with him. I don't know. Will this get a better release at some point? There's a crap ton of Terminator sequels after that I hadn't seen, like Genesis, Salvation, Dark Fate. Oh, man. I haven't even seen those. I stopped after the 3. The Terminator franchise is a trilogy to me. So if they were to do a box set, I mean, you'd really want just 3 movies, right? They should do a trilogy instead of, I don't know. I can't speak on those. Has anybody seen Terminator 3? I really like it. I don't know if it holds up. I haven't seen it. Again, I'm buying movies from when I was, again, nostalgic, like when I was younger. So let's see. Next, speaking of younger, I bought the boy, Brahms the boy. So if you haven't seen the boy, this is like early mid, because this is what 2015. Yeah, literally mid. 20 early. I keep saying early, middle 2010s. Ease back, good rainy day horror gothic movie. I don't even say if you can categorize as gothic, but like just a nice breezy, calm comfort watch horror movie from the mid 2010s. That's a good subgenre. I like it. You can get this. You can get you could start watching not Cult of Chucky, Curse of Chucky. That's a great one. It's very similar to like The Boy, Invisible Man remake. You know, just like those rainy day watch horror movies. Mama, Ma, The Meg. I'm gonna throw The Meg because I love The Meg. But The Boy. So if you watched any of those Insidious, Annabelle movies, The Boy is trying to like I think take that crowd in its direction. But this movie's so much better than what people I think judge the cover of this movie as. So the boy, you get an actual like porcelain doll boy that this girl, this nanny has to take care of. I'm trying to see. Lauren Cohen is the actress. So she's tasked with taking care of this doll of I think Brahms, and she thinks the doll's alive, and they think she's crazy. And we're trying to figure out is the boy actually alive? Is this doll alive or not? Again, I compare Chucky. Chucky, similar vibes to this. I highly recommend The Boy. It's a very, very well made horror movie. It's very pleasant. It actually got a sequel as well called Not Bram Stoker. I think it's The Boy Brahms. I'm not familiar. I haven't actually seen the sequel. I've heard mixed things, but I did really love The Boy. It would have been better if it was BOI instead of BOY. Am I right? So it's Boy. But yeah, shout out The Boy. It's a good comfort watch. Again, good rainy day. I think the middle 2010s is a great decade, good part of the decade to just watch comfort, casual watch horror movies. You got things like Winchester. You got this. You got, like I said, Curse of Chucky, The Boy, other mid 2010s horror movies, Mama. I'm trying to think of that Eric Bana horror movie. That wasn't too bad. You get some. Was Bird Box in the mid 2010s? I can't even remember anymore. Oculus. That's a great one. Mike Flanagan stuff. This fills of that vein. So I gotta co-sign The Boy. I don't know about the sequel. I mean, I have a sequel podcast that's dormant. Maybe it should come for the sequel to The Boy. That actually would be kind of fun. I have a few people in mind I'd love to have on to talk about The Boy sequel. So yeah, I love those the glitch again. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, that's enough about talk about The Boy. Next, there's a movie I haven't seen since I watched it on TV when I was young. That is Roland Emmerich's of 1998 Godzilla fame, Stargate. I was afraid to get this movie because I thought it was getting announced for a new release. It's the extended cut. I didn't even know there was an extended cut of this movie. But I remember really liking Stargate. It's kind of like sci-fi and old ancient history mixed together. If I remember correctly, Kurt Russell and this army group have to go through this portal in ancient, like it's an alien technology portal. And they go through and they end up in like ancient Egypt, and then it's like sci-fi Egypt in some ways. And there's aliens maybe in it. I mean, it's Roland Emmerich, so it's going to be a disaster film in some aspects. I just can't remember exactly the details. It's exactly why I spent the $6 on this Blu-ray. I think it's streaming for free on Tubi, but I mean, if I could just get this and probably rewatch it again, and support, Roland Emmerich cinema, why not? I haven't seen this movie in forever. I remember really enjoying it as a kid, and I can't remember why. Like, I think the portal thing was really cool. I don't know. I mean, this is also the dumbass who owns Godzilla 98 on a 4K, So, like, I mean, I'll watch a Roland Emmerich movie. You don't have to ask me twice. Although I didn't watch his newest release, which I should have. I should have checked that out. Moonfall? I should have watched Moonfall. Anyway, excited to watch Stargate. Let's see. We got the Cobwebs channel. Daniel, yo, you missed it, bruh. Just got done with the podcast. Here's an Inside the Sequel podcast episode for you, my friend. The sequel to The Boy. I can't remember. Is it good or not? I haven't seen it. So I definitely got to check out the sequel to The Boy and put it on Inside the Sequel. And if you're doing a podcast, it has to be with Matt Buckets of Blood Bledsoe, I'm assuming. But yeah, I love The Boy. Let's see, Daniel, I love The Boy. I actually watched it for the first time for everyone in the chat with Daniel. We watch it. I was telling everyone, Daniel, I know you're late. This is such a good rainy day weekend comfort watch movie. It's smooth as butter, very enjoyable, great productions, and honestly, the mid 2010s for horror is such a comfort film vibe. Like, I'm talking like this. Curse of Chucky, which is very similar to this. Things like Ma, Oculus, Mike Flanagan stuff. Those mid 2010s horror movies is such a great comfort, warm blanket vibe type of subgenre. I will stand by that. So yeah, The Boy, I think it's Bram Stoker or I keep saying Bram Stoker. Brahms The Boy, I think is the sequel. So yeah, pick that up. It was a buy one, get one free. And I picked up Terminator 3 with The Boy. So not too bad. And then the next Blu-ray I picked up was King Arthur on Blu-ray. This is a Disney-produced movie, King Arthur. So this is an old Blu-ray. I don't think you can see, but it has the Disney logo here. Directed by Antoine Fuqua. Sounds so familiar. I feel like I've seen their works before. I really just bought it because I remember loving this movie and the video game tie-in for King Arthur. And it's not streaming anywhere, which blew my mind. I was like, I don't even think it's on Disney Plus. I didn't check there, but according to online, you can't stream this movie anywhere, I don't think. So I had to hop on this for $5, and I remember enjoying it. Listen to this. Jerry Bruckheimer presents, Antoine Fuqua directs. Obviously, it stars Clive Owen, Keira Knightley, Ioan Grufford. I'm pronouncing that wrong, but that's Mr. Fantastic as Ivanhoe, baby. Stellan Skarsgård, Ray Winstone, Hugh Dancy. Like, my God, this is like a stellar cast. I mean, younger me loved this movie for some reason. I've always loved sword and sandals movies from the early 2000s and late 90s. So that makes sense why I, loved this growing up. I'm excited to watch this. I recently rewatched Kingdom of Heaven from Ridley Scott with Charlie, and oh man, that movie was awesome. Like, I remember thinking it was boring as a kid, and I get why, but as an adult, my God, that's like my jam. It's kind of like the equivalent for me, like when those dudes who love history end up loving the Civil War and war movies, like American military movies. It's kind of like that with me, Swords and Sandals. I just don't like American military movies though. That was confirmed when I watched Platoon on a rewatch, where I was just like, this is the last time I'm watching a American war movie. Like, I'm just done with it. It's not enjoyable. It's sad and depressing. And I get it, but like, the message is firmly confirmed, I don't know, but Sword and Sandals, baby, King Arthur. I'm excited to watch this. This is just, the fact that I haven't seen this since I was a kid, it makes me very, very curious. 139 minutes long. Jesus Christ. I mean, it isn't a director's cut, but this is the guy who was a 14-year-old who watched Alexander Revisited on DVD, but for fun, because my parents got it for me for my birthday. They didn't know there was nudity in it, though. I finessed them. I'm one of those apologists. I actually do like Alexander Revisited. from Oliver Stone. I really like that movie. uh Let's see some comments. I'm a little behind. Dana from the Cobweb says he did the Magnificent Seven remake and the Equalizer. Oh, I like that first Equalizer. I never saw the sequels though, but I did really like that Equalizer first movie. That early Denzel was pretty strong in my upbringing like that. I watched Man of Fire a lot. My dad loved that movie, but also I had a huge crush on Dakota Fanning growing up too. Have you seen 1917? That started to turn me around on war. No, I haven't actually. I know Charlie's seen it, and I think she saw it, or she really wanted to see it. But no, I haven't seen 1917. Maybe that might be the thing, like 2010s and on for America. I mean, that's Europeans technically, but you know what I mean? Like more modern post 2010s war movies. Maybe those will turn me around because they come from a different voice for war movies than like the generation we got prior to that was in the 70s and 80s up and on. And the next movie I got, Scream Factory. Look out. I shelled out some money for a boutique. So I got this at half price books, blind buy. It was like $10. And I got this right before going to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which wasn't too bad. It was pretty enjoyable. I'm kind of terrified after I read the synopsis online and what people were saying versus me just being blind because it was an eye candy movie. It's called Bite. This is a Scream Factory release. I've never heard of it. It's one of those like IFC Midnight, but IFC did not put this out. I think this is a French horror movie. I don't know. It's called Bite. The cover looks freaking insane. It's actually kind of scary. It also had a reversible cover art. Your fears is her appetite. Apparently, this is a form of in the vein of Raw. If anybody saw the French horror movie called Raw, which I think Scream Factory ended up putting out as well. This movie is very similar in that way. It's kind of cool, kind of clean. Let's read the synopsis. While on her bachelorette party getaway, bride-to-be Casey gets a seemingly harmless bite from an unknown insect. Creature feature already in my mind. After returning home with cold feet, Casey tries to call off her wedding. But before she's able to, she starts exhibiting insect-like traits brought to the breaking point by both her ongoing physical transformation and her wedding anxiety. Casey succumbs to her horrifying new instincts. As her metamorphosis becomes complete, the bugged bride and all who cross her path discover that everything can change with a single bite. Holy shit, this movie. I mean, the online review said it just absolutely gross and grotesque because of like the imagery and the gore of like her feeding on people. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. Holy shit. It sounds like that freaking monster in The Nest that transforms the mutated bug cockroach with the human. Holy crap. This sounds tough. I'm hyped now. I mean, I'm a little afraid of the imagery. I'm not going to lie, because I saw Raw. And, I have a strong stomach for this kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong. But Bite kind of, I don't know. Bite kind of did something to me where I was like, or not Bite, but Raw, excuse me. Raw did something to me where I was just like, I'm good. I don't know. This sounds like a creature feature mixed with The Fly from Cronenberg, which is basically the same thing, right? No one I recognize is in this movie. This came out in 2015. These mid 2010s movies, man. I'm excited for this. But yeah, $10 for Bite. Hyped. So it's confirmed Charlie did see 1917. And she thought it was great. I'll have to watch it on my phone as it was intended to be watched on an airplane. Daniel, yo, I remember Bite from my family video days. Honestly, can't remember if I watched it. I feel like if you saw this, you probably would have remembered. At the same time, I'm tempted to watch this now that I'm on break, but I might hold out for a showing of some kind soon. So might hold out. Bruh. Bite in French means eggplant. Bruh. Ah. All right. So we got through with the DVDs. We got through with the VHSs. All right. Now we got through finally. That's all the Blu-rays. We're going to go with the 4Ks that I picked up over the month of May. So to remind you all tuning in, let's see. We'll go over it at the end. Let's just go over with the 4Ks. So moderately inexpensive 4K I picked up was James Cameron's Avatar. This was $16 from Half Price Books, sealed, new. I mean, yeah, I didn't own it on Blu-ray because I got rid of it, and I have the 4K of Way the Water. So like, yeah, I had to get it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. I didn't do my homework on it. I took at face value it's Avatar. I needed it on 4K. Now, I'm pretty well rehearsed. I'm pretty knowledgeable, I'd like to think. There's probably not a lot of proof of that. Of 4K transfers and what movies need to be 4K or not. This movie has Dolby Atmos, no Dolby Vision. No Dolby Vision at all. Granted, I don't have a TV right now that has that, but I'm surprised that something like this doesn't. I mean, it's technically Disney owned, so that's kind of shocking, but also not surprising. But the HDR on here, it's going to be peak. Yeah, I'm excited. This is like expensive. Like it's usually 20 to 25 bucks. So like to get it for like 15, 16 bucks sealed, I mean, I'll spend the money on that. I'm excited to actually watch it again on 4K now. I love Avatar. I've come around on it so hard in the last few years. Yeah, I love it. Another 4K Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I got this for free on a buy two get one free sale through Vintage Stock this past month. I had the Blu-ray, got rid of it because I wanted the 4K. Again, I'm excited to watch it again. It's a very rewatchable movie. On 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. Yeah, hyped. HDR. I mean, this movie, this is such an easy watch. And the other thing is, I watch Across the Spider-Verse. It's on Netflix. So I watch that I like to think about it, put some clips of it on the background. I'm going to be doing that with Into the Spider-Verse. This is going to be like one of those mainstay, always in my 4K player, ready to go because I love this movie so much. I love the banter, and like it's the Blu-ray itself was already so gorgeous. I mean, the 4K is only going to look even better, I would assume. So yeah, got those Blu-ray, but boutique label Blu-ray. So I kind of threw it with the 4Ks. Slugs. So I bought this right after I watched it on Tubi. So technically, maybe not a May release or May purchase, but I'm throwing it in there because I got to talk about Slugs. I watched it on Tubi, and Tubi was not enough. I knew as soon as I started watching it, I need this 1080p, crystal clear, no ads, because I need to watch this in its best pristine quality, and I need it to watch it straight through. I can't be having any pauses because this movie has to be seen to be believed. I'm a Slugs a convert. Like I'm here to convince you all that Slugs is a movie you have to go see. I love this movie. Directed by Juan Piquar Simon, who did Pieces, from 1982. Spanish director, creature feature movie. Gotta see Slugs. I don't see enough people talk about this movie. Look at this cover. I mean, both covers are awesome. I love this white cover a little bit more. But come on. There's a scene in this movie that happens in a restaurant where it's just gangbusters, man. It's just so good. Like I don't want to spoil it because it is really good. It's worth it. But Slugs, man. Gotta give it to Slugs. All right, let's go. There's a few more movies to show off here. So when I got into the Spider-Verse, it was a buy two get one free deal. Um I had to buy two other 4K movies. Well, not 4K, but I bought 4K movies. But I had to buy two more movies to get the buy two get one free sale. So what ended up happening is I ended up getting these two. Now I didn't plan to get into the Spider-Verse. What I originally wanted to get was Child's Play 2 on 4K, and it had or what? Yeah, no, it's Child's Play 3. Excuse me, it's Child's Play 3 on 4K with the alternate cover, slip cover, not the standard slip cover that's thrown in with it, but the alternate one, the more desirable. I don't know why I put it down. I was like, because I want to get the Arrow box set, I think, eventually when I decide to get all of them on 4K, because I have them all on standard. So I was like, I don't, I mean, I have it, but I don't think I'll need it. So I put it back. This horror schlob, probably one of my subscribers, so I apologize if this was you, grabs it and takes it. And I like did the whole, oh no, what did I do? Why did I leave it? Because I was struggling to find something else to get to for the sale. So at least I had all the things I wanted. But luckily I found Into the Spider-Verse. But still, I was like, man, Child's Play 3 with alternate cover art, I could get it, and watch it. I like Child's Play 3, but someone else ended up getting it in St. Louis at the vintage stock there near Oakville. Yeah. Heartbreaking moment. Anyway, the other two movies that I'm going to reveal were the movies I had to pay for to get Into the Spider-Verse for free. First one being Child's Play on 4K. Honestly, very happy and hyped for this. The reason being, if I ever wanted that Arrow collection, it only has the Blu-ray. It's a 4K collection, but it only has the Blu-ray. I need boutique labels to stop doing this damn thing where they say it's a Blu-ray release or it's a 4K release, but only one movie's on 4K and everything else is on Blu-ray, but it's still a 4K release. Like, no. Put it all on 4K. Because they put a very small print, it's actually all on 4K, but the first one, the most important one, that one's on Blu-ray, an old Blu-ray, mind you. So everyone needs to at least have this on 4K if they end up wanting to get that set, or if they decide they're just going to get the Scream Factory collection, then, they'll get that. You got it with the slipcover, it's cool. I'm excited to rewatch this. Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, HDR, holy. Yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, Child's Play, the first one on 4K. Had to get that because, like I said before, I'm going to need it eventually down the line to complete a set. So, yeah. Next up, a movie I ended up upgrading that I didn't plan to upgrade. It just ended up turning out that way. And excited because it's one of my favorites. Candyman on 4K. So I bought this in Child's Play, and then I got Into the Spider-Verse for free. Don't do the math on how much that would cost. Fresh off the heels of the Scream Factory 4K sale too, which I passed this up on because I was like, I have the Blu-ray of Candyman. I'm good. It's a 2K scan. Don't need it. So what I ended up doing though, I had an eBay listing, and I had a bunch of horror movies that I eventually want to upgrade to 4K posted, and it'd been sitting out there. It was pretty well priced, I think it was very fair, but finally someone ended up buying that set, and I was like, well, no, I have to upgrade it now because I don't have the Blu-ray anymore. But here's the thing, I did not list it with my Scream Factory Blu-ray slipcover. I love this slipcover way more than that 4K slipcover. As everyone who's followed the channel knows, I love these Blu-ray slipcovers way more than the 4K slipcovers. So what I've been doing is hanging on to them so I can put them on the 4K cases and discs. So this is a new 4K scan of the original negative. The Blu-ray only had a new 2K scan. Pretty good transfer, I'm not going to lie. But to have it on its best condition, I mean, is a sight to behold. And the 4K slipcovers are the same as the cover for the Blu-ray, and they're also not reversible. So knowing that before I decided I wanted to upgrade to some of these, if I kept the Blu-ray slipcover, then I could just keep the alternative work that's already on the 4K and then still have an alternative cover art from the Blu-ray slipcover, which I think this one's amazing anyway. So ended up upgrading this for nothing, basically. I mean, it was great. Very excited. The only problem was the 4K cases are thinner than these Blu-ray cases, so they kind of slip out just a little bit. But yeah, happy to have that. Looks great. Surprises people when they're like, oh, they got the Blu-ray still? Yoink, got the 4K. All right. And that's actually all I picked up in May. Nothing too crazy, you know? So if you have any, you know, if you like these live streams, you want to see more of them, definitely let me know in videos to come. Thank you all for tuning in to another live stream here with me, Chris at Figure Out Films. Hope you're enjoying the channel. I love seeing all the new faces and the subscribers that are coming in. I love to keep that up. So yeah, please get involved, get engaged. But yeah, thank you for tuning into the live stream. Remember, if you are not buying physical media, do you really care about cinema? Other than that, I'll see you next time.